Hey guys, Jason here. If you want to actually reach $10,000 a month in 2025, I want to show you 3 ways that you can get there faster. Now, this might sound like another how to make money online video, but you're getting something different today because it's not going to be another recycled list of 10 side hustles that make money type video. Start dropshipping or dance on TikTok. But I'm going to show you the exact business models to focus on to actually get to $10,000 a month, even if you're starting from zero. And if we're meeting for the first time, I'm Jason. I've tried every type of online business that you can think of. I've tried freelancing, Amazon FBA, dropshipping, Etsy, YouTube, Shopify. I've failed so many times, but today my business brings in 6 figures consistently for the past few years. And today I want to share this based on my own experience, not based on some hypothetical. And I'm also going to share some lucrative business ideas that are taking off today in 2025 with some real examples of people doing it. Now, before we start, I just want to be transparent with you. If you're already making $40,000, $50,000 a month and you're trying to scale to $100,000 a month, this is probably not the video for you because I'm not there yet. I don't make $100,000 yet. I don't know how to do that. But if you're trying to make your first 10K a month, I believe this video will give you some clarity. And if you guys stay till the end, I'm also going to share how I finally broke that $10,000 mark and scaled my business to $40,000, $50,000 a month. Now, if you want to start making money online, you have to understand the first rule of money, which states that you make money when you provide value to people who are willing to pay for that value. Now, this is not making money through gambling or crypto rug pulls. This is a legitimate exchange of value for money. Now, the second thing is before you pick any business to start, you got to ask yourself, how fast do you need the money? Because let's be honest, some of you want to start a side hustle because you desperately need that money. I mean, I was there before. Or maybe some of you already have a job, but you want to start a side hustle with the intention of one day turning it into a real business. So when somebody asks me, what is the best business to start? This is what I always go back to. Because choosing the right type of business for your own situation is crucial. Because the reality is some businesses are quicker to monetize, but they're a bit hard to scale. And then there are some that will take longer to grow, but once you reach a certain point, it can grow very quickly. Now, I'm going to give you some real examples, but to make things easier to digest, I'm going to organize all these examples into 3 categories. The examples I'm going to share with essentially fall under one of these 3 models: the J-curve model, the non-J-curve model, or what I call the instant revenue model. And the third one here is basically a hybrid between these 2. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to explain what each of these mean and which one you should choose depending on your personal situation. Now let's talk about the first category here, which is the J-curve businesses. You know why it's called that? It's because if you plot your results over time, it literally looks like the letter J. So think about it like this. You start a business, you're excited, you're putting in the work every single day, but instead of going up, your results actually go down first. You're investing time, money, energy, but you're seeing nothing in return, right? 0. And this is the dip, or what we call a valley of disappointment. And this is exactly where 90% of people give up. Now, what most people don't understand is that this dip is completely normal. It's part of the process. Because I went through this. Every major business that you know goes through this. Amazon, Google, even the YouTuber that you see who's making millions of dollars today, they all had to survive this dip. Now, the type of business that falls into this category is usually a physical product business. If you want to start selling on Amazon, Etsy, Shopify, you're going to be following the J-curve model here. So you invest your time, your money in products, warehousing, design, and it's going to take some time until you see results. So let me give you a real example. So back in 2008, I started an Amazon FBA business. I put in $10,000 to buy my first batch of inventory, waited a couple of months for it to be produced, and another few months for it to ship from China to the US. And how much money did I make that year? 0. Absolutely nothing. So every time we made a sale, all that money goes back into buying more inventory, and that cycle continues for 2 to 3 more times, just selling products without seeing much profits. I was in this valley of disappointment. But here's where things will happen. If you can push through this dip, if you can survive where most people quit, something great will start to happen, right? Your product review starts coming, your revenue starts climbing. So this is the part of the J where everything starts shooting up. So right after that first brutal year of no profits, we started seeing some wins and we started getting good feedback from our customers, started getting more sales and profits, right? And then we added more products. And suddenly we weren't just making a few thousands, but we're doing tens of thousands of dollars per month. And at that point, we started building systems. And this is what actually makes J-curve businesses so powerful. Because once you get past that dip, you can actually remove yourself from the day-to-day operations. You can hire people to handle customer service. You can outsource your fulfillment, automate your marketing, and you'll see that the business will start running without you having to be there every day. And what if you want to exit? you can sell the business. Look at some huge examples here. Native Deodorant. They started selling natural deodorant online and they got acquired by P&G for $100 million in just a few years. Or you guys might know this one, Dollar Shave Club. Started with a funny YouTube video and they got sold to Unilever for $1 billion. Yes, those are huge companies, but even smaller exits happen all the time, right? I have some friends who are doing Amazon FBA and they ended up selling their store for like 3 to 4x their annual profit, which is about $800,000 to $1 million, right? Which is not bad for a one-person business. Now, another example of a J-curve business is content creation. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's the same thing, right? You're filming videos, doing podcasts, writing blogs, whatever it is. You're creating content and it feels like you're speaking to yourself. You're hardly getting any views or engagement. That's the dip. But I kept going. I know that if I keep publishing good content, one day YouTube will pick up one of my videos and it will go viral. Now, what I like about content creation is that unlike a physical product business, you don't need to buy any inventory, right? You don't need to deal with returns because your content is your inventory. And if you're a content creator on YouTube, the content you publish there stays on the platform forever. Every video you make, you create them once, it's there getting views 24/7 while you sleep. And in terms of making money, once you have an audience, you've got multiple ways to make money. You can earn from ad revenue from your platform. You can earn money from brand sponsorships. You can do your own products like courses, consulting, coaching, digital products, and even physical products. And the best part about this is that you can also automate some of the operations and scale your content business with people, right? You can hire editors, content writers, thumbnail designers. You can do a lot of creative things. Now, just to give you an example, look at MKBHD, right? Everybody knows this guy. He started as a solo creator making tech videos in his bedroom, and now he's got a whole team and a studio, right? Or Ali Abdal, huge following, also started creating videos by himself, and now he's grown his creator business to about $10 million a year. And he has a team now of maybe 13 people, I believe, helping him with scripting, editing, even managing his courses. Now, in saying all this, you have to understand something. None of these businesses looked promising in the first year. They all went through that dip. They all had moments where it would have been easier to quit. And the only difference is that they held on long enough for the J-curve to actually form. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's a long time to wait for results. Don't worry, because this next business model is completely different, right? If you need money in the bank next month, you're going to want to see this one. Now, let's talk about the second model, the instant revenue model or the non-J-curve. So this is completely different from the first category, obviously, because with this model, you can start making money right away. So think of this as the skill for money model, because you're essentially exchanging your skill for money. So a great example of this is freelance services. So whether it is design work, copywriting, bookkeeping, web design, or even if you start a social media agency, that would fall under this category. Now, the beauty of this model is that you don't need any capital to start. And that's because you're offering a service based on a skill that you already have to somebody who's willing to pay for it. Now, if you're looking to generate revenue as fast as possible, you need some cash coming in. This is the type of business that you should probably start. You'll see results quicker. But not only that, but your profit margins are usually going to be quite high because you're not dealing with any inventory because you're selling pure value through your skills. But here's the catch. With this business, there's going to be a ceiling to the amount of money you make. Because think about it, there are limited hours in one day and you'll eventually hit a cap on how much work you can do in a day, right? Therefore, earnings will be limited. Now, of course, there are clever ways to scale a service business. It's been done before. You just have to think differently. And I'm going to share with you some crazy examples in a bit. But before I get to that, like I promised, I want to share some service businesses that are in high demand today in 2025. So the first one is growth operator. So this is basically the person who helps creators turn their influence into actual revenue. So if you see any big creator who's making a lot of money, especially those who does coaching or consulting, most likely they're working with a team called a growth operator. They can be called different names, but essentially they function the same way. Now, a growth operator is usually an expert in creating sales funnels, running ad campaigns, doing sales calls, and they manage all the digital marketing side of their business. So if you have any of the skills, this could be a good opportunity for you. Now, I want to give you a real example. This guy, Malcolm Bryant, he's making $100,000 a month helping agencies and creators scale their business. And crazy thing is that he's only 20 years old. And this is probably an extreme example, but that is just the potential for this skill. And since this is an exchange of skill for money, most of that revenue you make is going to be purely profits. Now, the next service that you can offer is thumbnail design. So this is a service that is in super high demand. There are more and more creators on YouTube in 2025. Yes, there are already a lot of people who call themselves thumbnail designers, But you know, there's only a few that can actually design a thumbnail and that works. Because as a creator myself, here's what I think most people get wrong about thumbnails, because it's not about making the thumbnail look pretty with colors and all that. Because you have to understand that a thumbnail has one job, right? To get clicks. You could have the most beautiful, perfectly designed thumbnail on YouTube, but if nobody clicks on it, it's worthless. So I think there's still a massive opportunity here. Most designers focus on making things look pretty, but if you understand the psychology of what makes people click on thumbnails, you'll always be in demand because that's what creators are looking for. Let's talk about the third one here. So if you feel like you don't have any of these skills, so you don't know how to design a thumbnail, this next position requires no skill, but it's a job that is in super high demand for creators. And that is being a creator assistant. So here's something interesting. This position is usually the first hire that any creator makes. So I know this because it was mine. So think of this as being the backend operator for creators. So you could be handling their email inbox, you're managing their calendar, you're booking their travel, you're taking care of all those admin tasks that the business is running. But here's where you can really make the most amount of money with this job. So most creators don't need a full-time assistant. They might only need maybe 10, 15 hours of help per week. So if you're smart about this, you can manage multiple creators at once. Because I know one assistant who's absolutely crushing it. She works with 3 different creators and she uses AI tools and automations to speed up her work. And you know what's crazy? She still works no more than 40 hours a week. And she's even doing this from the Philippines where the average monthly salary is just $339 a month. Now, here's the cherry on top that most people don't realize. So if you have any dreams of becoming a creator yourself, this is like a paid internship. You get to see how they build their systems, understand how they make decisions, seeing what works and what doesn't, right? And it's like getting paid to have a mentor. So you're not just earning money, but you're also getting a masterclass in content creation while getting paid for it. So again, if you're looking for a way to becoming a creator one day, this might be your perfect entry point. Now, remember how I mentioned that you can scale a service business? So here's how you do it. You want to turn your service into a subscription. A good example here is Design Joy. So this guy, Brett, turned graphic design into a monthly subscription service. So he charges one monthly price with unlimited revisions and he's making $1 million a year from it. So he's still providing the same service, but he changed the structure that allows him to capture more revenue while working less. Now here's an even crazier example that will blow your mind. So you guys know Jason Derulo, right? He took one of the most labor-intensive businesses out there, which is car washing, and he completely flipped the model. So instead of charging per wash, he created a subscription, $24 a month for unlimited washes. It sounds impossible, but this business is already worth $2 billion. So this is exactly what I mean when I say think differently about service businesses. Because when you shift from trading your time for money to now building systems with recurring revenue, everything changes. You're no longer stuck in the day-to-day operations, but instead you're building something that can grow way beyond your personal capacity. Now, both models that we covered so far, they both have trade-offs. J-curve needs a lot of patience. Service businesses need your time. But there's a third one here that gives you the best of both worlds, basically the hybrid model. And this is exactly what hybrid models are so powerful because you can start with $0 today, but unlike service businesses, you're not limited to the number of hours in a day. Now, a great example of a hybrid model is print on demand. So you're selling physical products without the need to buy any inventory in bulk. You're going to be working with a provider that holds that inventory and you only pay when you make a sale, which means that you're able to sell products without worrying about having capital to start. Now, a great print on demand platform that I use is Gelato, who is kindly sponsoring this video. And I want to show you how you can make money with this platform, Gelato. So here's how it works. So you create designs, you upload these designs to a platform like Etsy, Shopify, or even TikTok. And when somebody places an order, Gelato will print, pack, and ship your order. And you can now even print your products with the Under Armour brand. Yes, there are other POD platforms out there, but the reason why I like Gelato is that they have providers from 32 different countries, which means that, let's say you have a customer from Singapore, for example. Your product will ship from a local provider in Singapore, which will save you a lot in shipping cost. And not only that, but they've actually lowered their prices up to 50% recently, which will give you more margins. But the best part about this is that Gelato is completely free to use, but if you sign up to their paid plans, you get 20% off all their products, so you get that extra 20% margin out of your revenue. Now, since I'm a Gelato partner, you can get their Gelato Plus plan for free for the next 30 days. So if you want to claim that deal, go ahead and click on the link in the description below. And thanks Gelato for sponsoring this part of the video. Now the big question is, how can you scale a print-on-demand business. First, you have to understand the purpose of a print-on-demand model. It helps you test the market without having to come up with 10, 20K on products that might not sell, right? So these POD companies are actually taking on that risk for you by buying and keeping all this inventory. And as a result, it removes that risk for you in the beginning. But of course, the downside to all this is that the profit margin is not going to be as great if you compare it to buying wholesale. But once you've validated your product and you see that it's working, you can always scale by switching to wholesaling, which will give you better margins, and you also get more options with design or the material. Now, the other hybrid example is selling digital products. So this includes products like digital planners, digital templates, ebooks, printables, digital study guides, courses, audiobooks. And if you've been watching my videos long enough, you know that I love digital products. And I like this model because there's nothing to produce in the factory. You don't have to wait 3 months before you can start selling. I mean, you do have to create the product, but it takes less time to produce. And not only that, but digital products generally make a lot better margins. And I'm talking about 90% and above, because basically there's no cost to produce it other than the time and effort that you initially put in. So once you finish creating the product, it is pure profit margins, less any cost of transaction fees or any platform fees that you pay on Etsy or Shopify. But of course, a big downside to digital products, again, is that it can be copied easily. Someone can just download your product and can sell it as their own. But you see, there's always going to be pros and cons with any model. Now, let me share what I personally would do, because all of these options might feel overwhelming, right? So if I need money right now and I'm starting from scratch, I would start a service business, which is the instant revenue model. Why? Because you can literally start making money next month or next week. Yes, you need time to market your services, but you're not spending months to build a product and then wait for someone to buy it. And my goal here would be to hit maybe $5,000, $10,000 a month, which is very achievable if you have the right offer and the right execution. But the next question is, once you get there, how do you scale past that 5, 10K month income? So that's where the J-curve businesses come in. Now, I personally love the content creation model. I am a bit biased, but I do think that that's where all the money is going to be this year. And I'm not just talking about YouTube. I have so many friends that changed their lives by just creating content on Instagram, TikTok, and they all have less than 30K followers. But of course, I think that YouTube is always the best platform for audience building. Again, a little bit biased, of course, because I started from nobody, totally zero, to now about 130,000 subscribers and getting views like this in just under 2 years. And I'm super grateful for it. But yes, I know a lot of you guys probably want to start a product business, physical products or digital products, but here's what most people get backwards, right? They create a product first and then struggle to find customers. They spend tons of money into inventory and then they realize that they have nobody to sell to. But I think the better way to do this is to build an audience first. Because once you have an audience, right, you have a lot of options. You want to launch a physical product, your audience is ready. Right? You want to sell digital products, customers are ready. You want to do consulting, they already trust you. So I think the better way of doing business today in 2025 is not trying to figure out what to sell, but it's about building a direct line to people who might buy from you. And that's what content creation gives you. And I guess having that mindset allowed me to surpass my 10K a month income to now earning about 40K with a fairly small audience on my channel. So my advice is you can start with services if you want to get cash flow, but don't stop there. Start building an audience on the side. And you know what? 2025 is actually the perfect time to start a YouTube channel because YouTube is actually promoting small channels. I can say that because I'm one of those channels. I got monetized in under 30 days and was able to grow my channel to about 100K subscribers in a year and a half. So if you guys want to learn more about that, I recently made a video on how small creators are doing this exact thing on YouTube. So click on this video here and I'll see you guys there.